Now here you need to make the correct selection, apply to come to Canada, okay? Start an application. And here you do not need to enter the code here because you do not have it. So based on your not having the code, you have to select one of these three. So determine your eligibility and apply online. So click here, visitor visa, study, and or work permit. Okay, so you are doing study, so study. So what would you like to do in Canada? So study. And then how long are you planning to stay in Canada? So here you have to be very cautious, because if you select permanently, it's wrong, because you are not going for a peer. Okay, you're doing study. So temporarily more than 6 months, because study program cannot be less than 6 months. So more than 6 months, select the code that matches with your passport. So if you're from Bangladesh, so BGD. What is your country of or territory of residence? Maybe you're still in Bangladesh, so select Bangladesh. And then, do you have a family member who is who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident and is 18 years or older? So this should be no, because if you have somebody like that, that person may be able to do petition for you for peer, not for non-immigrant visa. So why you do study? You can go for peer if your family member can do a petition. Okay, so therefore this question means whether, like, these questions in fact means under the question that whether are you going to be able to do a permanent resident application or not. So be very serious about this. So select no. But if you have somebody, do not apply for study visa. I think, this is my opinion, it is better if you apply for peer visa. Okay, you should go for permanent residency instead. So what is your date of birth? For instance, your date of birth is 82 January 1. And then hit next. And you see that everything is pretty simple. So this is not a rocket science. This is at best a board science. You do not need anybody's help, okay? So you can do it. So, but here, very, very much careful. Be very much careful, because do you have a provincial attestation letter? So this is the thing that is required for anybody who is doing bachelor's. But for masters or PhD, you do not need this. So you do not have it, but still you will find yourself eligible. I will show you how. Do you have a provincial attestation letter? No, you do not have. Now, do you qualify for an exception? In this case, you select yes, because you are doing masters or PhD. But if you are doing bachelor's, then in that case, in the previous question's answer, you first need to collect a provincial attestation letter, communicate with your school, and then collect it, and then come for application, not before. Okay, so here what do you do? Do you qualify for an exception? Yes, because you are doing masters or PhD, for instance. So select yes, and then you that is an exception. Master students can go without provincial attestation letter. PhD students can do the same thing. So the question's answer will be yes, you qualify for an exception. Then you will be found eligible. Okay, so I will show you. You will be found eligible. So okay, what exception do you qualify for? Now, the exception you qualify for this one. Okay, I am an applicant who is applying to study for a master's or doctoral degree program. So that is an exception. You will be granted the eligibility. I will show you. The next will be the results, whether you are eligible or not. Okay, there is something more. Are you lawful permanent resident of US with a valid US citizenship number? So in your case, maybe no, then hit next. Have you been accepted to a designated learning institution? Yes. You have an offer letter. Now go with next. Are you planning to attend a post-secondary designated learning institute? Yes. So you have to be careful. Do the right thing. I'm showing you the right thing. So do those. Otherwise, you will not be able to be found eligible. So do the right things. Okay. So what is your marital status? So maybe married or whatever. Maybe married. And then what is your province or territory of destination? If visiting multiple provinces, select the one in which you will be spending most of the time. Okay. So for example, if you are going to an university in British Columbia, select British Columbia. It depends upon which province you are going to study. So select according to your situation and then go next. And now your results, you may be eligible to come to Canada as a student. Okay, this is the result. So congratulations, you can go ahead and now hit continue. And now create your personal checklist. So you're almost there. Do not submit multiple applications. Now you will be given a checklist. Okay, so before that I will tell you. So the checklist will depend on your situation. Whatever situation you have, based on that your checklist will appear. So be very much meticulous when you have selected the answers to the questions that I have showed you. I have showed the answers that is like almost everybody's situation, but your situation may be a little bit different than the situation that I have showed. So do not like copy paste, but in most of the cases the situation will be the same. For example, if you are in United States citizen, so your situation is different. So in that case you select another answer, not the answer I have showed you. So that is the message I am going to give you. And then select continue. And now, do you have a valid work permit or study permit and need a visa to return to Canada? Do you have a valid work permit or study permit and need a visa to return to Canada? So you still do not have any study or work permit, so select no, because you are just applying. Okay, so now select next. And now, are you exchange student? For example, it's no, because you are doing a fresh study, not an exchange or like credit transfer or something. Is work an essential component of your studies? Maybe no in most of the cases, 99% cases. Work is not a part of the study. Only study is the study, so it should be no in most of the cases. Are you a spouse or common law partner or child of certain skilled worker or of certain full-time international student that has or will have status in Canada? So for example, if you're a spouse or like you're a wife of a husband who already has a study permit, so that type of question is asked here. So in your case maybe it's no, nobody's there. And now a participant, sorry for the advertisement interruptions. Okay, now a participant in a Canadian aid program for developing countries. So in your case maybe no. Okay, so this should be the question answer, and then go for next. Are you accompanying a family member that has a status in Canada or has recently been approved to come to Canada? For example, this is no, and then select next. Have you ever committed or been arrested for charged with or convicted of criminal offense? So you are not a criminal, I hope. So select no and then hit next. And then have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel technician within the last 12 months? So if you already have done an IRCC authorized physician checkup or medical exam within the last 12 months, you will not have to do another medical checkup right now. So in many people's case it is no, so many people apply first and then do the medical test. So in your case maybe it's no, so then next. And have you visited or lived in any of the designated countries for 6 consecutive months in the last year? So in the last year, if you have stayed somewhere for more than 6 months, so in that case you will have to select yes, otherwise no. So in this case maybe no, and then hit next. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? If you also want another person to go with you, then yes, otherwise no. Maybe no if you are doing individually. And now, are you giving someone access to your application? So if you are making your application yourself, then select no. Or if you want to give access to IRCC, if you grant authorization to IRCC to release your information to another person, then you can also select this one, but you can also select no. For your purpose, you can select no. There's no problem. Okay, then hit next. And in the last 10 years, have you given your fingerprints or photo biometrics for an application to come to Canada? So if you have not, maybe in most of the cases no, so I select no and then hit next. And then there are fees associated with these applications. Will you be paying your fees or are you fee exempt? So you can tell I will be paying my application fees because you will pay yourself, right? So select that and then hit next. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner or camera? Because you will have to upload bunch of documents, so they're asking this question. So select yes, you can, and then hit next. Will you be paying your application fees online? To pay online, you can use a debit, credit card, Visa card, or these things. So yes, you will be paying online, so select yes. And then review your answers. So if you want to make an edit, you can do it here. You should carefully check, and then if you find any problem, then edit. Okay, this is the edit button. That is not a rocket science, this is at best a board science, so you can do an edit quite easily. And then hit continue if you are satisfied. Now here they are giving you some instructions, submitting your application. So there are some instructions, so you can study those things in your free time. So or now you can study, there's no problem. And then hit continue. And now they have prepared your document checklist based on your situation. These are the document checklists based on your information you have provided. So this is what you have to do. You have to upload these documents, and then you will be able to make the visa application, completed application. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed the video. Have a good day and see you in the next video when I will show you everything related to uploading the documents. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye bye.